Hello my loves, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is K Bella Beauty, and I am a little bit late to the game, but I'm starting a project pan. So I actually asked the question on my Instagram. I used it as a little poll, and I said, you know, I have this idea to try and do an end of year project pan and use up some of the makeup in my collection. Is it something that y'all want to see, or am I a little bit too late? And so surprisingly, the majority was yes. You guys wanted to see an end of the year project pan, so that is what we are here to do. I do just have a small little project pan, a few products that I want to try using from now until the end of December, the end of 2020. And I want to try and hit pan on these products or use them up. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the video and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you're not new to my channel, then you know that I kind of took a little bit of a break from YouTube, and I came back recently this year in the summertime. And so I had a ton of makeup that went bad, that I had to declutter, that I had to get rid of. And I do still have some makeup products that I kept or that I've had for a while, and I just want to make sure that I am using them and giving them some love, because I have recently added some new makeup items to my collection, and I'm at this point in my makeup journey where I want to have a collection that I'm using. I want to curate my collection and make sure that the products that I have are products that I love and that are getting used. So I guess I'm just going to work through the products as to how I would apply them on my face. I do not have any primers or foundations that I'm going to share in this project pan, because when I started getting into makeup again, was it June? I want to say around June, and I pitched old makeup, I had to repurchase new makeup. So I don't have any primers or foundations that are on the brink of expiration that need to hit the road, but I do have a concealer. And the concealer that I'm going to include in my project pan is this one here by Milani, the Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I have the shade 115 Light Nude. I think that I picked this concealer up, I want to say almost a year ago. I'm pretty sure I picked this concealer up last year in September, right before a wedding, because after I had my daughter, I didn't really have time to wear makeup, or even honestly, a desire. I didn't really have a desire to wear makeup. So when I was going to this wedding in September, I needed makeup that wasn't expired, that I could use. I think I needed a concealer. So I remember picking this up, and I do really enjoy this concealer. It's a drugstore concealer. I want to say maybe it was like, I don't know, $8 or $9. It wasn't super expensive. And this is a shade that really works for me, and it doesn't crease under my eyes. So it is a concealer that I really love. But again, we're coming up on a year here, and I want to make sure that I use it up completely and that I'm able to add it into my empties. So that is why I am including this in my end of year project pan. I'm not including any brow products because I only use one set of brow products for my eyebrows every single day, and I do not have a hard time going through them. So I didn't feel like I really needed to add it into a project pan. I wanted to create this project pan to put myself in gear, to give myself a boost, to use up some of these makeup products. I do have two eyeshadows that I want to share with you, and they are from the Master Palette by Mario. I chose this eyeshadow palette because it is one that I love. I've had it in my collection for a while, but it's not one that I get a ton of use out of. I feel like sometimes it just kind of sits in my collection and I don't really think about it. And so I decided, you know what? I just hit pan recently on two shades in my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. That is the palette that I think I've had the longest, if I'm remembering correctly, either that one or the Chocolate Bar. And I recently hit pan in two shades in the Modern Renaissance, and it got me excited. So I was thinking, well, why don't I hit pan in two more shades? So looking in my Master Palette by Mario, there are two shades, Fifth Avenue, this beautiful champagne shade, and Marina, this beautiful rose gold shade. Those are both lid shades, but they have a nice dent in them. So I thought, you know what? I want to try and pan those. And I chose to do just those two shades and not this whole palette, because I was thinking if I choose two shades, 1, it won't be overwhelming, so hopefully I will be encouraged to hit pan. But 2, that means that I can try out the mattes that I have in my other palettes, or even as I'm purchasing new eyeshadow palettes, I can dip into the mattes and I can just focus on Fifth Avenue and Marina on a day-to-day basis using those on my lid shades. So we're gonna focus on those two. When I have had eyeshadow palettes in the past, I've chosen an actual palette and I haven't really made much luck with it. So I really want to be purposeful in this project pan, and I thought by picking 2 shades in that palette, hopefully it's something that I can do. I did also choose a bronzer. Now this is a bronzer that already has significant pan. It is a discontinued Makeup Geek bronzer. This is the Bad Habit contour shade. It was her warm fair shade. I'm pretty sure Marlena reformulated her bronzers and contours because I haven't been able to find this one on the website in quite a while. Now you can see I do have major pan on it. I use this as a contour shade and then I use another shade as a bronzer. So this one I focus solely on the contours of my cheeks and then I blow it out with another shade basically. This is the contour shade that I've been using every single day for a really long time, which is why I've hit pan on it. But I do kind of think that it's starting to have a little bit of a texture change. I've noticed it around the edges mostly, that it's a little bit grainier. So I think we're kind of coming to the end of our road here, and at the end of the year, I'll probably have to pitch this out of my collection. So I want to see if from now until December, I can make a bigger dent. I do also have a couple bronzers in my collection. I have been inspired by my best friend Smags. I feel like she's really good at using up makeup products, and she was sending me a picture of a product that she used up completely, and I have the same product but in a mini. It is this bronzer right here from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. It's a little bit of a tongue twister and a really long name. She had the full size of this and she sent me a picture of it and she used it up completely. And I was like, how did you do that? I feel like I never use up face products completely. And she was like, well, it's the only bronzer that I've had in my collection for several years. So I do have a couple bronzers in my collection. I thought to myself, if I have a mini here, why don't I focus on this mini? Why don't I see if I can just hit pan on it? I'm not even necessarily trying to use it up completely. I just want to hit pan on it. It is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, not a shimmer, but a sheen. So I thought I'm gonna focus on using this bronzer and see how close we can get to hitting pan. Can we see pan by the end of the year if I focus on using this guy? We're gonna see. I hope the answer is yes. I am also choosing another cheek product. This is also Hourglass, and it was a gift from my friend Smags, who I mention on this channel a ton. It is this trio, this ambient lighting blush palette. It has Luminous Flush, Incandescent Electra, and Mood Exposure. So I want to focus on Mood Exposure right here. I typically do use this blush in conjunction with the other two, meaning I mix them, but this blush right here, it's more flat than the others. I am gonna try to include pictures, close-up shots of these products, so hopefully you can tell, but the Mood Exposure is the one that I have used the most. And I have not hit pan on any of these, and I've had them for several years now. So I am hoping that if I leave this sitting on my vanity and if I try to focus on using it every single day, that I can hit pan or at least make an even more significant dent in this shade right here, Mood Exposure. I think we can do it. I hope we can do it. But this is the oldest blush in my collection, this oldest blush palette, the oldest blush in my collection. So I thought, you know what? I need to give it some love. I usually leave that one in a drawer, and I think sometimes I forget about it just because it's tucked away. So we are going to give it some love. Now guys, I have to be honest with you, I did pick a highlight and I'm not 100% sure that I can really hit pan on it by December, but I didn't want to leave it out just because I think that I'm gonna fail at it. I wanna try it anyway. We are going to reach into the Ofra Cosmetics Feeling Myself Highlighter Trio. I absolutely love this palette. I have raved about it on my channel. If you watched my bronzer, highlighter, and blush collection video, it's a ranking video. I can list that in the cards if you're interested in checking it out. Then you will know that I love this guy. I love this highlighter trio. Highlighters are something that I feel like they're super hard to go through because you only use them on such a small part of your face, but you know what? That's okay. These are minis. It's a trio. I am going to focus on the gold shade, the champagne shade Rodeo Drive. That is typically what I go for in a day-to-day makeup look, is a light champagne shade. And the reason why I wanted to include this, I do love Rodeo Drive. I don't want to use these up completely and declutter them. This highlighter palette is going nowhere, but there is a highlight that I plan on picking up during the VIB sale. I'm going to keep that a secret until I post my recommendation and wish list video, but there's a highlighter palette that I know I'm going to purchase. My best friend Smegs has it. She has hit pan on it, so I thought I will feel more justified in purchasing that highlighter once I have hit pan on another one. I only have pan in one of my highlighters, and it is the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop. That's the only one I've ever hit pan on because it was my only highlighter for the longest time. So I am going to break out this highlighter trio. I absolutely love it, and I want to focus on Rodeo Drive. I want to see if we can hit pan. I am confident that I won't use it up. I don't really have faith in myself hitting pan, but we're gonna try. Fingers crossed, we will try. I also do have two lip products. One is a lip liner. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Pillow Talk. I love this lip liner. I think her lip liners are super creamy. They go on nice and smooth. They last a long time, and they're easy to sharpen. I feel like some lip liners are a little bit difficult when it comes to sharpening them, but hers are really easy to sharpen, but they also don't crumble down when doing so. Now, as you can see, I have used it. I've definitely shrunk it down a little bit. This was actually in my project pan. Was it 2019? I started a 2019 project pan and then had my daughter and disappeared off of YouTube. And I think I had this in my 2019 project pan. I want to use it now. My goal is to use it up by the end of December because I really want to try her lip liner in Iconic Nude. And her lip liners, I want to say, are around $22. So it's pretty expensive for a lip liner, but I don't have a ton of them. So if I use this one every single day, hopefully I can get it down to a little itty bitty nub, declutter it, and get myself Iconic Nude. I feel like sometimes anytime I want a new makeup product, I just go out and get it. But I know my best friend Smegs has a good way of thinking. There are times where she will tell herself, I cannot purchase this product that I want until I use something up. So that's what we're doing here. I am not going to purchase Iconic Nude until I use Pillow Talk up. Hopefully I can do so. The other lip product that I want to use and pan or use up completely is this little Dose of Colors mini in the shade Truffle. It is what I'm wearing on my lips today. It's a beautiful shade. It's a Kelly shade, a go-to mauve. This is a liquid lipstick, meaning that if I wear it under a mask, I won't have too much transfer, and I'm going back to work. I am a teacher, there will be kids in my class, and we will be wearing masks. So I still want to get some use out of this. If you saw my declutter, you know I got rid of a ton of shades, but Smegs told me you still have multiple lipsticks in the same shade. And if I'm being perfectly honest, these little minis that I got 2 or 3 years ago in a Christmas set, there were 4 of them, I think the texture is starting to change. It's a little bit more liquidy. It hasn't created any issues on my lips. I don't have any bumps. I don't have any discomfort or redness. But I think we are getting to the point where I do have to get rid of these. And I really love the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick formula. I really love the shade Truffle. I love the shade Stone. I have both of them in my collection. I feel like they're very similar, but I do think at the end of the year, I may have to pitch all 3 of the ones that I have in my collection. So I want to try and get as much use out of this as I can from now until then. And that is going to do it for this video. Those are a few of the products that I want to try to pan or use up by the end of December. I do plan to come back. This is going to go live in the beginning of September. So it'll start in September, October, November, December. I have 4 months to do this. Tried to choose products that I feel confident in panning. I really want to stick to it. These are products that I can use every single day and hopefully use up. We will see, but I have 4 months to do so. So I will come back probably toward the end of October, beginning of November, and I'll give you a little bit of an update, let you know how everything is going, but there will only be one update video, and then I'll come back at the end of December and let you know how I did. So hopefully fingers crossed, hopefully I have some good news for you in a month or so. And if you want to be updated, hit that subscribe button and stick around so that you can follow my end of the year project pan. If there are any of you who are thinking about starting a project pan, but like me, you didn't know if you should because it's kind of the end of the year already, go ahead and start one with me. Let me know in the comments down below what you are going to use up, what you want to pan, anything that you are trying to get like one last hurrah out of before the end of the year and before possibly decluttering. I would love to hear that. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.